So what we're looking at here is some trees, some apple trees that I grafted last year on my own M26 rootstock. So these trees are now in the second year. If you pay attention to these here, you'll see that they're making some pretty good growth. Starting to branch out where I cut them back from the upper buds, which is exactly what I want. So the idea of leaving a bit of a clear stem and then the growth coming out, three or four nice branches to make the framework. This tree here looks as though it's a little bit short of something, perhaps magnesium, or I don't know, I might give it some Epsom salts, but otherwise than that it's looking alright. But now if you look at this one here, I think yeah, that one and this one, shoot that to one side, you see that it's not looking very good at all. Foliage is dying back. It just doesn't look healthy at all. And on closer inspection, hoping that cane's in the way, but down at the base we've got canker. Let's see if I can get a better shot. So just down here you can see this, again, this sign where the bark has sort of discoloured, and it's basically encircled the whole of the trunk, so everything again upwards distal from this site of infection is dying back. Same on this tree, again down here, so it's right at the kind of base really, and obviously that's just going to affect everything, so the whole tree's no good now. We'll just have to burn them. On this third one, I hope you can see, it's difficult to get the camera in here, but just down here it hasn't quite encircled the tree yet, but it's probably going to. So those three trees unfortunately aren't going to make it, but this happens. They'll just have to go. And on this particular tree, I think this was grafted to Golden Delicious. Now I'm planning to send this down to Brian down in Manchester, and hopefully that's still going to happen. But again, you'll notice that the foliage is looking withered, and so again, inspecting the tree once again, canker, but it's up here obviously, not down the base. So what we can do with this one is cut it back below. So if we go down to maybe here, there's hopefully a bud might come out of there. That's about 3.5 inches below the site of infection. If we remove that, then I'm hoping that a new bud will come out, apical growth, and the rest of the tree will carry on growing, and hopefully Brian will get that to you before too long. The damson tree was badly affected by aphids, and see where it's actually sent out new growth here after I'd sprayed it, but it's getting reinfected again. So I'm thinking maybe now what I need to do is increase the frequency of spraying. If possible, I'm going to try and commit to a weekly spraying program and just see whether or not that makes any difference. If we wander over to this damson, sorry, not damson, this is a Victoria plum which I grafted into the stump of a wild plum which was growing on this embankment, and it is carrying some fruit, but it's absolutely crawling. I'm trying to find if you can make that out on the camera. It's absolutely crawling with greenfly, with aphids. So again, we need to come down and give this a good spray with soapy water. The bee there just loving the sugary sap that's given off by the aphids. So it is a constant struggle, I'm afraid, with pest control, pest management. But that's the way it is. So I'm just going to finish the video off with a little wander around, and things are growing rapidly now. I'll show you some of the fruit set. Turning you round. So this tree's carrying quite a good fruit set. A little bit early to start thinning them out yet. You see by the size of these fruits, different flowering times. So for example, this one over here, these fruits are much larger now. And there's a There's 5 on that one. So yeah, we definitely need. I'm just hanging back though. Again, we're only just over mid-June, so see these pinks now. Just about ready to start cutting. Another 2 or 3 days. This one's got a good fruit set on. Most of these now are cider apples, by the way. That one's a dual purpose one, that's apple jumbo. Again, we've got some aphids, I can see them inside there. So we'll need to give these a bit of a spray, but look at the fruit set on that one. That's a cider tree, I forget which variety it is now, but this one is looking good. That's Ashmead's kernel. This one is Kingston Black, a high quality cider apple. That's got a good set on it. And here we've grafted over to Dabinet, another high quality cider apple. And then this one is carrying a really big crop, so you know, branches like this are just going to be pulled down and potentially break, so it's really important that we get those fruits thinned out in due course. And on the other side of this tree was where I put in some bark or rind grafts of that variety jumbo I mentioned just before, and it's making some really excellent growth. I actually put them in just for cyanwood. So for example, if you look at this growth here, you know, that's going to make some excellent cyanwood for next year. Probably get quite a lot just off that one branch, but I put 2 more grafts in here. Again, you can see that one's about 16 inches long, this one's about 18 inches. Some nice pencil wood there. And there's the other one. That is making really good growth. So hopefully I'll have plenty of cyanwood to propagate that variety. It's a good apple, jumbo, variety jumbo. I'm just looking up the boundary line here. You can see I've taken a second cut of Comfrey. And the tayberry that I planted a few weeks ago is throwing out some nice new shoots, and it's actually got a little bit of fruit on it. So that's another job I need to do, is to get the post and rail structure ready to get that those new growths tied into. And finally, just looking down at the food hedge here, I'm hoping you can see that it's just starting to take a little bit of shape now. These cob nuts are growing away really well, and as I said, I've got 2 more damson trees to go down the bottom there. There's one in now that's growing nicely, and then this part here will be yew. So that's looking well. That's looking okay. It's actually putting out some new growth here. So there's kind of 1, 2, 3. Got a little tiny one here, but that's growing fine. And then the last 3 I put in, I'm not too sure still. They're not looking really good, but I do have some spare ones. So eventually, yeah, the plan is for this section here to be kind of a yew hedge, because this is where most of the wind comes through. So hopefully it'll act as a bit of a windbreak, and then you're kind of more of the food hedge extending right down to the bottom there. So there we are, brew time now. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and let me know what you think about my strategies for the pear tree. Drop me a comment down below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.